we are excited to kick off our Monahans cohort. It starts on the 28th of this month and we'll go through June the 2nd. It's a 6-week program, and I'll break down a lot of details, and then Tina will share some insight from ConocoPhillips as well. 1 second. I hail from St. Louis, Missouri. I've been in Midland for almost 7 years now. This is the longest place I've lived as an adult. I was part of an oil and gas family, so we've lived in, I think I've moved 14 times. I've lived in China, Australia, Indonesia, Houston twice, which is the mothership apparently, California, and came to Midland 6 months before COVID. I have a background in operations and business. I had a franchise myself and have a consulting business as well. So that's kind of my journey. I've also worked a lot with nonprofits, having moved a lot. Wherever I move, once you get settled, you grow where you're planted. And so I get involved in the community. So this opportunity has really come along, and I've really enjoyed it. Last year we worked with Carlsbad. We also worked with Odessa. And this year we're going to Hobbs, New Mexico in the fall. We're doing the Midland cohort this summer, and we're kicking off things this year with Monahans. So we're really excited. Here's our agenda. We're going to do an overview of ConocoPhillips. I noticed a little typo there. I'll give a description of the program structure, the application process, the eligibility requirements. We'll set some expectations and outcomes, and then we'll open it up for any questions. So we should run pretty quickly. It's not a ton to present, and a lot of this will be on the website. Everything will be on the website as well. Like I said, Dr. Brian Shedd, who is over the Office of Innovation and Commercialization, he unfortunately can't be with us today, but you will see Brian, and as he and I facilitate one of the tracks. I introduced Tyler. We'll let Tina go ahead and do the overview for ConocoPhillips.
Thank you, Stephanie. As Stephanie mentioned, I'm Tina Tiffany. I've worked for ConocoPhillips for now 15 years this month. I started in our Bartlesville, Oklahoma office, and then moved here to Carlsbad, New Mexico 6 years ago. ConocoPhillips is very excited to host and sponsor this great small biz builder in all of our areas. As Stephanie mentioned, we'll also be doing Hobbs, New Mexico. We've done Carlsbad and all the areas. So just a little bit about ConocoPhillips. Stephanie, I don't know if you can lower your screen so I can see the, yes, thank you so much. I should know these numbers by heart, but they continuously change. So here's a little map of the area that we do cover in the Permian Basin. Within the Permian Basin, you have two basins. You've got the Midland Basin and the Delaware Basin, which flows over into New Mexico and then West Texas. Last year, we were producing 6.5 million barrels a day in oil production in the Permian Basin, with over 5,500 wells and just greater than 50,000 in inventory there. So this is the Permian Basin is the heart of our operation out here. Next slide. So here's just a little bit what we do for the community in the area of the Permian Basin and our focus areas. Obviously, we've spent over 42 million invested in the Permian since 2021, and continue to spend more here in 2026 as we divvy out our grant dollars across the Permian Basin. We're one of the presenting sponsors of the Rockhounds. We also give money to those community athletic event centers, and then we're also a huge conservation partner. We own Quail Ranch there in the Midland Basin and over into New Mexico. We do a lot with STEM events in our areas. As Teresa knows, we've done a lot with the Monahans Kids Zone in the Monahans area. We also support all of our first responders in the area, fire, police, and our counties. It's just where we work, where we live, where we play. That's where we want to give and make those lasting impacts across our communities and build out that sustainability.
Oops.
So a little bit why we do, why we decided to do the Small Biz Builder. We're just really a valued member of the communities and where we operate. And as I mentioned, where our employees work, where they live, they play. We want to improve the quality of life in our communities. We want to be able to provide that quality of life, not only to our own employees that are in the area, but also to everybody else that's in the communities. We want to equip those small businesses and those entrepreneurs with access capital, any kind of trainings, soft skills that are necessary. And UTB has definitely helped us do that and build that out. And folks like Teresa at the chamber, connecting all the dots and putting it all together for us. And just networking has been huge in the Monahans area. We just really want to provide those opportunities to build our local economies. And we're very excited to partner with UTPB, with Monahans, with the area, and build out those small businesses in the areas where needed. So thank you guys for joining today and hearing about the program. We hope that you yourself, and if you have any entrepreneurs that you're around that would love to sign up, we would love to have you. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Tina.
Thank you.
Check and make sure we don't have anyone else waiting in the lobby. Oh, that's not working for me. Okay, I think we're okay. Okay, so the program, like she said, it's a small business accelerator. It does accelerate the time to launch and scale. What we basically do is folks who we know have an idea of a business in their head, something they're thinking of, they've never gotten it out. We'd like to help them with some good structure and some good programming to just share, who is your customer? Do you know what you want to charge? Have you thought about all the costs involved? Have you thought about your marketing plan, your distribution plan? It's a structured program. You can leave, at the end of the 2-hour session feeling pretty heavy, but feeling good because you have a good plan of action of where you're going and what you're going to do. So it's a structured curriculum. We do have the 2 tracks, which I'll talk about in a second. And it's basically community oriented because it's interactive, the co-starter part of the program. These are the 2 tracks I was talking about. The idea stage is for those folks who really have an idea that they're trying to get out of their head and get it on paper and get an action plan around it. And then your early stage folks are people who are already in business, who may have launched, whether it's a food truck or at least have a business plan in action. They'll work with Tyler and the group there to really build out that business plan, get some financials around their ideas, secure financials, and how to develop a marketing plan. Both of those tracks together are working towards a pitch. So our graduation is basically every one of the businesses working towards offering a 2-minute pitch, sharing what they do, what their business is, and getting them comfortable talking with the public about what they're doing. The idea stage, you won't leave with a full, mapped out business plan, but the goal is that you're in the direction, you're headed in that journey to get there. So the curriculum is built around, like I said, who's your customer? How much am I charging? Am I clear on which lines of which product lines am I dealing with, and how to get off the ground with the next steps? The website is here. If you've made it this far, you've already been to the website. Like I said, we're working with Monahans first, Midland this summer, and Hobbs in the fall. So if you know folks who are really interested in these other areas, definitely send them to the website. I've had several folks who've reached out and said, hey, my business is currently in Midland. Can I come to the Monahans location? And sharing with them, we do have another cohort coming up. The only eligibility requirement is you must have a business or a business idea. And the goal for the program is that you work with that one business idea. We know there's, serial entrepreneurs who have multiple ideas. We want you to work with just one idea through the program. We figure with that process, you at least have a start and a stop to progress one particular business. If you want to come back later and, work and workshop another business idea, you're totally open to do that. Just for your sake, to keep things consistent, and for us in the program, we just ask that you work with one business. And you need to be located in these 6 counties. It could be any type of business. We've had from realtors, we've had lots of oil and gas support service businesses. We've had food trucks, we've had bakers, we've had party planners, any type of business and any age. We've had someone from high school, and we have lots of folks who are planning for their retirement, their positions in retirement. For profit and nonprofit in any industry is eligible to apply. What you can expect from the program: expect a lot of interaction, expect a lot of conversation, bring your challenges, bring your ideas. What I really, really love about the program so far is we may finish, our curriculum at 7:30. Folks are still sitting around talking as they walk to the parking lot. Everyone's created their own group me, their own text chats to talk to each other and hold each other accountable. We just went back out to Carlsbad to check on things out there. And people were like, we've talked to each other already. So that's showing you the community in progress. That's showing you how great this networking opportunity is, and how connected folks get in this short time. But because you're spending your time and energy, so you're getting out of it what you put into it. So the outcome is that you will ultimately launch your business. That you set some goals for success, and that you're committed to what you're doing.